Hey guys, insight number 4. Really enjoying the sunshine out of my front yard here. Enjoying my husband's collection of weird street signs behind me, although the Normandy Ave one is mine. Yes, I did collect it from the street back in 1995, I believe. Anyway, naughty, eh? But it was broken and now it sits on our fence. Okay, so 122. This is the thing. So this is still going on. Remember, these 3 sections are part of one epistle, one letter, and it was just broken down to sort of study it, I guess, a little bit. I think they grammatically looked at it and how can we break this down to sort of distribute it and learn from it better. Anyway, so the Lord is now talking to Joseph Smith, and we're going to look at verses, I think was 1 to 2, which says, "The ends of the earth shall inquire after thy name, and fools shall have thee in derision, and hell shall rage against thee, while the pure in heart, and the wise, and the noble, and the virtuous shall seek counsel and authority, and blessings constantly from under thy hand." So this is talking about how Joseph Smith is going to be a well-known name, and that it's going to be for good and for bad. And he's going to have to live through some of that, and then his family's going to have to live through that throughout perpetuity. I mean, even now and today, I think probably not so much in New Zealand, but if you're in Utah and you say your last name's Smith, people are like, "Oh, you're related to Joseph Smith." You know, like that, it's going to be continually thrown in your face. And you can go to any country, anywhere, different languages, it can be your neighbor, it can be your friend, or that they're going to ask, and they're going to have an opinion. So, certainly Joseph Smith is a well-known name, right? Probably not as famous as Lady Gaga in today's world, but it's certainly a well-known name through many people. If you bring that up, you probably get something like, "Joseph Smith, are you Mormon?" And then you can go on, as we said last week, to say, "Oh, do you mean the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?" And focus it back on Christ. Yes, Joseph Smith was a prophet. We follow Christ. But have you heard good and evil spoken of him? Because I have. What from his life inspires and teaches you, right? This is in the Come Follow Me manual this week. What from his life inspires and teaches you? And how do you testify of his goodness? For me, from his life, it's just his valiantness and the way that he continues and doesn't give up. And had to go through a learning process bit by bit, a little bit by little bit. And that demonstrates right from when he's 14 and he prays, or even earlier that, and we know about his life. His life progressed in a very natural, very organic way. Fortunately, got shot and martyred well before he could grow older. I would have loved to have seen where he would have got to and the skills and the abilities he would have had, in his 80s or 90s, as we have our prophets now. But that was not to be. And, that's okay. That's his purpose. That was his calling. And I'm pretty sure he was just kind of glad to get some rest. But, just from reading of his life, and I have studied it, probably not as intently as some people, but I have looked at it and have studied it. There's a lot to learn. He was a good husband. He was a great father. He was open to emotions. He also felt like we did, do we go back to insight number 1, where he, pleaded, "I can't see you, Lord, where are you? I can't hear you. This feels like hopeless. I cannot see." And, we feel like that too. So we can learn a lot from that. We can learn a lot from our prophets. He was a man, just like Moroni was, just like Mormon and Nephi and John the Baptist, and you go way back, they're just men and women. Esther, Eve, Emma, they're just women. They have failings, they're not perfect, and yet they're remarkable people. And I could name some people like that right now, today. They're remarkable people, they're amazing examples, and they're my heroes and heroines. I just call them heroes, I lump them all together, but they are just ordinary people, but there's still a lot I can learn from them, and I'm grateful I get to learn from them. But think of it like this, okay? Think of this. How would you feel knowing people are vehemently, falsely accusing you all over for generations, like falsely accusing you of something you did not do? Now, if I was accused of something that I did do, it would be like, "Oh, dang." But if I didn't do it, I get so mad. Mostly you'll find this, in the classroom when the teacher says, oh, can you clean up that mess? You're like, but I didn't create it. And they're like, I don't care, clean it up anyway. And you feel like, oh, why do I have to clean it up? I didn't make it. Or even at home, your kids will do this. Oh, but I didn't make that mess, he did. I didn't do that, she did that. And they feel like so just distraughtly, wrongly accused. It's horrible for them. So how would you feel knowing that people are doing this over and over for generations on your name? It would suck, right? And it's definitely infuriating unfairness. So how then would it be when someone rebutted, defended, or testified of your goodness and innocence? Wouldn't you feel great? Someone to stand in and say, oh, actually, that's not true, and they're not like that, and they're a really good person, and they didn't do that. You're like, oh, thank you. And you love that person and you want to hug them and just be like, I'm really grateful you did that. So, yeah, again, Joseph's life's taught me a whole lot. And one of the things we can do to help, rebut all of that false accusing and all of that awfulness about someone who was innocent of those crimes is to speak against it and to speak up and defend him. When you have the opportunity, do that. So, Joseph's life taught me so much. Remain faithful even in the jaws of hell. Right there on the edge, remain faithful. Let hell choke on me. I don't care. I am not giving up. I am remaining valiant and stalwart, solid on the rock of the Redeemer. Be valiant, trust the Lord, and let haters be haters. The Lord does not leave you, and plenty of people love me and will know me just like we know Joseph. So if I'm falsely accused, it's all good. Haters are going to be haters, and the Lord will not leave me, and plenty of people will love me and will know me just like we know Joseph, and that's what I can learn from his life. Now, Elder Uchtdorf, he said, sometimes a single phrase of testimony can set events in motion that affect someone's life for eternity. So that one single phrase of testimony you have, whether it's about the church, whether it's about Joseph, whether it's about the Book of Mormon, whatever, even just about God saying, I know he's there, that one phrase of testimony can set events in motion that affect someone's life for eternity. So don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to say it. Think of if you were in that situation, you would want people to speak up for you, right? So speak up. All right. So that's interesting there. I just thought I'd pull that one out because that one also speaks very dear to me because I hate being falsely accused. It really gets to me. I really don't like it. So yeah, I'm really grateful when people stand up and defend me and fight for me, which the Lord does always on my side fighting for me. I love that. Okay, almost done. I'll see you soon for insight number 5.